DJ MC Launchbox.
For 2 long years, my head hurt bad, so the doctor checked me and he shook his head. He said, I'm sorry to tell you, but your body's outlived your brain. He said, I know this doctor in New York, son, and he'll fix you right up with a brand new one. So the head doctor met me when I stepped down off of the train. He said, we had this bank robber killed last night. His body's shot, but his brain's all right. I'll give you a transplant, boy, and you'll be okay. I got my new brain in and I was feeling great. I went right back to Nashville with no headache, but something strange happened when I walked in the bank one day. I said, stick 'em up, buddy, I'm robbing this place. Drop all of your money in my guitar. Don't nobody move and don't nobody reach for that door. A lady said, why, you're Johnny Cash. I said, no, ma'am, I'm the Manhattan Flash, and I am the best bank robber in New York. Now, the other night, Roy Acuff called me. He said, John, I'd like for you to do the opera. So I went out on the stage, but I couldn't sing. I got into half a verse if I walked the line, and something snapped in this head of mine. I yelled, stick 'em up, give me your money, your watches and rings. Well, I called New York and talked to that brain quack. I said, Doc, I've got to have my whole brain back. He said, I'm sorry there, Mr. Cash, but I can't do that. He said, I put your brain in a chicken last Monday. He's singing your songs and making lots of money. And I got him signed to a 10-year recording contract. Now, friends, if you see me walking down the street, remember what you see ain't necessarily me. And if I try to hold you up, don't pay me no mind. But when you got $10 that you can blow, you ought to catch that Johnny Chicken show. He's doing fairs and concert dates all up and down the line. I said, stick 'em up, everybody, I'm robbing this place. Drop all of your money in my guitar case. Don't nobody move and don't nobody reach for that door. A lady said, why, you're Johnny Cash. I said, no, ma'am, I'm the Manhattan Flash, and I am the best bank robber in New York. Well, I don't pay any income tax. You don't pay tax on money you steal. You ought to catch that Johnny Chicken show. Chicken in black.
Louis Theroux, Duke and Jones, jiggle jiggle. My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure. It makes me want to dribble dribble, you know, riding in my Fiat. You really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact, no slack. Luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to relax in my mind, sipping some red wine. Shepherd's Bush, compact push, Notting Hill Gate, my Fiat skate with a crate of Cabernet. But not today, because I gotta drive, I wanna stay alive. Not cause it's illicit, do I have to get explicit? As a matter of fact, I sip on the yacht with Big and Reese, 200 diamonds in their piece. I'm trying to get mine, so I can shine. Jiggle jiggle, I like to see you wiggle wiggle. Jiggle jiggle, I like to see you wiggle wiggle. My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure. It makes me want to dribble dribble, you know, riding in my Fiat. You really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact, no slack. And luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to relax in my mind, sipping some red wine. I think that went really well, don't you? I enjoyed it. Nice being in the booth. So, unless you have anything else, that's a wrap. My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure. It makes me want to dribble dribble, you know, riding in my Fiat. You really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact, no slack. And luckily the seats go back. Got a knack to relax in my mind, sipping some red wine. Like a sipping like it's mine, sipping like it's mine, sipping 2 leads com black and leads com black and leads com black and leads com black and black. And luckily the seeds go back.
Where are you from, ma'am? Where are you from?
Io sono from Italia. Viva Italia, per favore, la lure, mezzo male, mamma mia, da maledare. Ciacinca, buah. Figlia mia, da fantasia, mamma mia, se facce tu.
I can't understand her. I think she might be French.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. And most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that we see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the R07 engine. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My 2 children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the Little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
Boogity, boogity, woogity, indeed. How are you guys doing today? In America, we pray. Really? Right now? I just started. Are you serious? He just smashed his head against the door, indicating to me that he needs to go out right fucking now. So I'm going to take the hoogs out. I do apologize. Don't worry. He will address you soon. He will address you soon. We'll watch that again. For those of you who thought it was Talladega Nights, no, that's real. This is a real NASCAR-loving man. You understand? Really loves it. So I'm gonna pop back out for a second so I will address you so that I can address this select board member named Hugin, who is fussy. He says, thank you so much for celebrating his birthday. He ate puppy cake. It was like a cookie cake thing. He had the finest of okay, all right. You know what? He's like, fuck my birthday. I need to go.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. And most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that we see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the R07 engines. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My 2 children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the Little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
Send this to a vegan. You are annoying. Your friends and family are tired of you rejecting their kind foods. Luckily, I designed a fashion for you that will help them remember to ignore you. Sorry, I can't eat that. I'm infected with vegan. Also comes in vegetarian, gluten-free, lactose intolerance, alcoholism, and POE.
Moogies. Hugin, what do you want? What do you want to say to the select board? What do you want to say to the select board? You want to talk about Yolanda Saldivar? Yolanda Saldivar? Yolanda? Oh. Yolanda? Yolanda! You're very smart. We love you very much. Oh, thank you. I love you too. Okay. Okay, there you go. Now, this next one is called Totally Tulip. I'm very interested to see if any of you guys remember this.
Feeling tulip, totally tulip, feeling tulip, totally tulip, doing my thing, it's plain to see. Tulip faith, let be me. Fast and fun, that's my style. Talking tulip, totally tulip, feeling tulip.
Because I was thinking about like tulips for Scott and how we could maybe get him this. And also I haven't seen him in a while. I wonder if he even would care about Totally Tulips for Scott. But also I remember the squeezy jars. How many of you guys remember that? I didn't know that it had a name. You do remember that shit? It's wild. It's what, and oh, also thank you very much. Hugin is so friggin' cute. You have you are infected with vegetarianism. You will have to get a shirt from Marcus Pork. Yeah, they do still sell it. And I'm like, should I get it? Should I get it? And I know I shouldn't, but I'm gonna start wearing only puff paint shirts. Have you guys ever done that? Like everybody goes through a phase, right? Or a couple of phases sometimes. Goth phase, cowboy phase. You know, going through a phase where it's like, I'm just gonna wear fucking skirts. But I don't think I ever went through a puff. No one goes through a puff paint phase. That's not a thing. You might go through, vegetarianism. That's how I keep fucking it up. Also, hello, sweet pea. Hey, wait a minute. I know that picture. How are you doing? Yeah, do you got light bright phase? Fair enough. But puff paint phase is a whole different kind of lady. She's a band booster mom. You know? She's a band booster mom. She likes to go out, but only in the day. Because she's got shit to do for the kids at night. No, tulips is not code for anything. It's just tulips. It's absolutely just tulips. Sweet C. Yeah, puff paint. And vajazzling and bedazzling. Those are both things. Yes, I see it as you, honey. What do you think? Are you going to go through a puff paint phase? Here's the thing. Even puff paint moms don't do it the whole time. They just wear it for Friday nights and Saturday nights. But like, imagine being tuliped to the tits. Like, just tuliped out, dude. Tulip tits. That's what they're going to call me. Just totally tuliped head to toe. Totally tuliped head to toe. What if you totally tulip while you're drinking a mint julep? And then you threaten someone. So you're like totally tulip, drinking a mint julep, and you tell them to pull up. What about that? Pull up, blah, blah. Some Birdman shit. What if I make an all Birdman puff paint shirt? If I just do a puff paint picture of Birdman at the Breakfast Club. Saying I could have pulled up twice, but I didn't. And with that said, if someone does pull up and they're wearing a totally tulip fucking puff paint shirt, you're about to get shot. So you need to back off. Band booster moms don't fuck around. I'm really scared of them. Also, it's safe and non-toxic. You think someone should do a puff paint of pink cocaine on a shirt? I mean, the colors work. The colors work. I could see that happening. So you can suck it out then. Tiffany, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Rita Lombardi, Knox the Third. What the fuck? What the fuck? Has your aunt been rubbing off on you? You know what? I'm taking him to court. I'm surprised that the giant ribbons for quinceañeras wasn't just a fat. Oh, mums, are you fucking with me? Dude, puff paint was in moms. This was part of the mummery culture. Now, that's an interesting crossover now that I think about it that you're presenting me with. Because you're telling me, okay, I can see that. So there is a crossover, actually. You found some OSINT. There's a crossover of puff paint with moms. That is definitely a thing. That's definitely a thing. You know what's worse than puff paint? Jewelry you made yourself by gluing sheets of paper together and sanding it down. Is that a sandpaper joke or did you really do that? Oh, gluing sheets. Oh my God. I know what you're talking about. It's like those people who take a bunch of different shits and melt it down. Milk it? Ew, don't milk my shit. No, melt down a bunch of things and then they sand it and they're like, oh, look, I made a table out of old vitamin fucking bottles. And it's like, get that, or lighters. I made art out of it's like, yeah, I get you repurposed it, but like, ew, I don't want to touch that shit. Slippy sock vacation, your treat. My treat. You're going to a farm. And first, before it, we're taking you to Dr. Drew. You're going to have to get on TV and talk like a teen mom. Because you've been talking like a teen mom. You can suck it out then. Get out of here, Farrah. What are you doing? Did you eat the puffy paint, Tiff? Well, of course, we all ate the puffy paint. Or you'd put it in your nose. Yes, Lori. What up, Stevie? What do you know about Totally Tulips puff paint? What do you know about that? All my friends are here right now as I type all of your names. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Tish. Our pet snake. Stop right fucking there. The beginning, the false premise. What? Why do you have first of all, snakes aren't pets. Snakes aren't pets. Those are danger worms. Why is it in your house? You don't domesticate a snake. That's why he escaped, because you tried to domesticate him. He's going back to the motherland. He escaped his tank, and we have no idea where he is. Not a euphemism. No, I know where he is. He's in the wild where he belongs. Don't have a pet snake. It's a fucking snake. It's a murder worm. Why do you have that? You kids with your snakes and your spiders really scare me. Like, I get it. I get it. You like Morrissey, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to have one of those. My mom and sister had to tell us all that stuff. Fimo jewelry, potato stand. Did I stroke? What does that mean? I started because I'm going to Google everything you just said. I don't know what a potato stamp is. That sounds actually like a euphemism, but I'm going to find out. Epoxy and ramen noodles. What on to eat or to art? Please be specific. Pet snake. Yeah, I know, Pat. And now you go with Tiffany. You go with Tiff. It is terrifying. Now you have a snake on the loose. He's in the house somewhere. Well, why don't you put out human meat? And I'm sure he'll find it. Because that's what snakes do. They bite people. Put some cheese out. What do snakes eat? I don't even fucking know. What do you feed a snake? Rats? Put a mouse out. Go buy a fucking mouse and release it in the house. And then you will find the snake. And if you don't find it right away, then you look for the rat bones. Good morning. Reggie, what kind of snake is this? Is it going to wrap around you in the night while you sleep and kill you? You need to be careful. It happened to my sister. Your sister had a snake? Yeah, why are you people owning snakes? You can't pet them. They're not like Hoogans. They won't talk to you. It's your housemates. So your snake's in a house. So this is not even your snake. So now you're the victim. You're the prey. You're being predatored. Yeah, I would freak out too. You should make that roommate pay more rent for unleashing a murder worm in your fucking house. Oh my God. Stevie says he's in the toilet. It can't be a rattlesnake. Who would do that? That's definitely, I don't think you're allowed to have a pet rattle. In Texas, you're not. Jumping spiders are cute. You know what? Grounded. I'm sorry, Hippie, you're grounded. Anything is better than a ferret. Well, don't say that. They're cute, but they do get in places that are not good, like recliners, and that's bad. If he is, then I just peed on him. Oh, so now we're just pissing on snakes. Why does that not? Okay, now you go with Tiff, and I'm starring that. That's going to be on a shirt. I had a hermit crab who roamed the house. You could hear his big shell booping. Well, that's adorable, and that makes me think of Marcel Marcel. What's his name? Marcel the Shell. Fimo is so fucking hard to do. I still don't know what that is. That was one of the words I'm going to Google. Macaroni art. Great for people coming down off cocaine. And I know that because there's an arts and crafts at the halfway house near me. And you can hear them scream about it. We had a corn snake. Her name was Corn. I mean, yeah, that's merch, darling, but it worries me. You've held too many severed penises and snakes in your hand. We could carve out designs on potatoes and use them as well, that is fucking kind of genius. Starring that. I guess we're making potato stamps for Halloween. Have you ever had a mushroom stamp? Those are spooky. Oh my god, I have mice right now. Give her a mouse. Put a mouse in her house and save her life, please. Are there any other pets missing? Hide your dogs, hide your cats, hide your wife. Let the kids find the snake. You don't pee on the snake, you pee in the snake. Oh, wait, no, I read that wrong. You pee on the venomous snake bite, silly. Yeah, you do that. You pee on the snake. Fuck it. Sculpey. Haven't heard of it. Murder worm. That's what they are. They're fucking giant worms here to murder you. They're Marcus, but they're actually going to kill you. And they do know the cartel. Fabric, paint, poorly carved palm trees. You guys are giving me so many ideas for things to look up. Call the police and tell them you're being predatored. Please do. And when you have to describe the victim, you have to ask your roommate how long the snake is. Can they really grow behind? Oh God, I don't know. I didn't even know that's a thing. Starring that, never going to sleep. We'll look it up later. Disagree. Well, I don't know now because it's been too long. My sister had an albino ferret named Stinky. That's actually, I'm starring that. That's good to know. We can release a mouse. We can't, as you have two cats. Oh, well, the cats will kill the snake. You'll be fine. I don't know what kind he is. He's not a constrictor. He's not a bitey snake. He's orange. Ew. Well, wait, you have a bright orange snake in your house? You can't find it? You have a murder worm that is orange. It is the parking attendant, or what's it called? The traffic officers of snakes. It's a construction worker of snakes. It is already wearing the vest. How can wait, what? No, this is important conversation. You have a snake on the loose. There's no derailment. We are on rail. We are on rail and we're on the way to Snake City. We need to find the snake. Where do snakes go? Poop, don't pee. You want to poop on the snake? You kids are getting weirder and weirder. Okay, well, fuck. Now I want to know where snakes go at night. Is it night there? What time is it? Hold on. Watch this. We're going to ask Google. Hey, Google, my snake got loose in my house. Where would it likely go? Question mark. It's going to say to hell. If your snake gets loose, it will seek a dark, warm, and secure place to hide. Most escaped snakes stay within the same room as their enclosure, especially the first couple of days. Okay. You need to look at wherever the enclosure is, and you need to look for a dark, warm space. In your fucking roommate's butt. That's what you're going to tell them. But in reality, it says near heat sources. Snakes are cold-blooded and will be drawn to warm areas. Check behind and underneath appliances like the refrigerator, stove, dishwasher, and heater. Damn, Lori's on it. Along the walls. Snakes tend to move along walls and baseboards for security. They like to be close to something. Search behind and underneath furniture like couches, dressers, and bookcases. Inside of furniture creases. Small snakes can squeeze into tight spaces. Look inside and under furniture, upholstery, behind and inside drawers, and within the springs of a box spring mattress are most common. Quiet, dark places offer snakes a sense of safety. In and around stored boxes and closets or pantries, behind or inside cabinets. Piles of laundry or clothes. Ow! I hate this. Okay. Step 1. Don't. Oh, also near water sources, behind the toilet, inside of potted plants, on shelves, or even on top of door frames. Fuck. Many snakes can climb in shoes, boots, and bags. No. In the furnace, closet, or air ducts. Step 1, don't panic. After you tell me all of that, they'll be fine for a few weeks without food, but they may become dehydrated. They are likely going to remain in your house and they will fuck. And likely close to the enclosure. We already know that. Contain your other pets. Secure any other pets in a different room to prevent them from harming the snake or getting injured. Conduct a systematic search. Go room by room, starting with the room where the snake escaped. Seal off rooms with towels under the doors as you clear them. Police. Like the FBI. You need to get a gun. Snakes are most active at night when your home is quiet. Place crumpled up plastic bags along the walls. The rustling may alert you to the snake's location. That's genius. So along the walls and baseboards, you crumple up bags so that if the snake goes through them, it moves the bag and you can hear it. Sprinkle a thin line of flour or cornstarch across doorways. If the snake moves through, it will leave a track showing the direction it went. You're going to do a forensic investigation of where the snake is. Do you understand? Just put flour everywhere. Sometimes a lost snake will return to the safety and warmth of its own cage. Place the enclosure on the floor where it was last seen with the door open, and you can turn it sideways if you need to. Be patient. It may take time, but the combination of traps, a warm spot, and your enclosure will make your home appealing to the snake. Many escaped snakes are found within weeks or months later. All right. Well, totally tulips.
Feeling tulip, totally tulip, feeling tulip, totally tulip.
Lori, you turn the fucking light on. But it's dark. Well, so how will you see it in the flower? You turn the light on, Lori. You turn it on. You check it in the morning and see where the snake go. I mean, I wouldn't let it go to morning. I would not sleep till I found that snake. I'm going to be honest with you. You did all the other things. Okay. You know, you could create a safe, warm environment on the floor for the snake and lure it. You could groom the snake, lure it to you. Trap it. Texas is home to most snakes. Shut up, Stevie. Steven, you're so grounded. Is that true? I mean, I have seen a lot of snakes in my life, and as a child, I threw a lot of them at my aunt, and it traumatized her, and she still has not forgiven me, and it's been about 30 years. So there's that. But I don't like them as an adult. They scare me. In fact, there was a famous cobra in Austin that got on the loose, and a lot of really great memes were made from it. But it's called, if you look up the Austin cobra, you'll see what I'm talking about. It really was an incredible time, but I think someone did get bitten and almost die. Anyway, today we're going to talk about a very important case, but first we're going to check out a couple of other things. Okay, because I have I actually have about 20 minutes that it could kill, but I'm not going to do it. We're gonna get to the gabagool a lot sooner today, but I do have it. I'll give it like 10 maybe at the most. Do some goofy, some sillies, maybe not 10. We'll do like 5. But it's gonna be fine. Because ideally, I'd like to do this thing. Oh, let me pull up where I'd like to do some gabagool, and then at the end, get you guys to call in and talk about it. Like, what do you think happened here? So I'm gonna try to do that, which means a little less sillies at the beginning, but that's fine. I mean, it is crime. We can't be goofy all the time. Oh my God, that rhymed. Okay, here you go.
Get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't been on the roof. Never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't lay on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Never seen a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy grilling on the roof. Big boy grilling on the roof. Big boy ain't grilling on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't climbing on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. How you do it like that? Damn, you got tools on your back. Climbing on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Shit, big boy get loose. Shit, big boy get loose. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never shoot when you falling on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy hop on the roof. How you do it like that? Look, shit, you just make a back. Shit, pick up your back. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Get on the roof. Get on the the room. Get your ass out the room. Get your ass back out the room. I ain't never seen a big boy leave from the room. Take a big ass out.
I want to hear more about this, Fuzzy. What the fuck? Who's we? You did? So you just pull the... How'd you get the snake off? It's so crazy to me. Like, also, reticulated python feels extra spooky because that's a crazy word. Don't worry, they'll be back. They have a show. They'll be back. They'll be back. I sent them pep talks. They'll be okay. We're going to get them back here and jacking banners in no time. You know what the irony of that is? Baby James told me that they actually really didn't take it. Like, it did fall off, but they absolutely held it up. But they told Ted Daniels that, and he left that out of the whole thing and made it sound like they took it. And they were like, what the fuck, Ted Daniels? And I'm like, we have to avenge you. We have to take down Ted Daniels for doing that. For putting them in that position. Like, fucking Ted, dude. Ted. Yeah, it was a good pep talk too. There was a lot of violent language, a lot of verbiage, a lot of threats. No, but he's gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay. They're just working on their thing. They're doing their thing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They're dabbling in dark casinos right now.
These four men are deathly allergic to the raisin. They kissed their friend goodbye. The game was organized by this man. His name is Earl Wasman, and he runs over a dozen dark casinos in southern Pennsylvania. A dark casino is where you can risk your life in games of chance, but if you win, you can get over $1 million. This man knew the risks, but did it anyway for money, which is a form of greed. When I saw this video, I gathered all my friends and told them to release their worship of the dollar, greed. And if they ever visit a dark casino, they'll be writing a one-way ticket out of my life as a friend.
We will never go to a dark casino.
They will never go to a dark casino, and you shouldn't either. You really shouldn't. Also, I need to find Dinosaur Guy again and upload him permanently because that shit was so funny. He's and the bones. It's all about the bones. You gotta look at the bones. Also, this hits differently today.
Went viral was because parents kept writing letters and emails to the city of Boston. They're like, hey, there's a slide you put up at a public park. Super dangerous, by the way. The older kids can't really ride it. Some of the younger kids just go flying. Can you please do something about this? And Boston for a while was like, it's a children's slide. How fast could it go? What do you mean? The city just kept brushing it off. They're like, you're fine. It's a children's slide. If you don't like it, just don't ride it. Until they keep writing. They keep writing letters about this goddamn slide. The mayor's like, all right, we have to see what these people are talking about. I'm sick of hearing about this slide. And the city of Boston's like, all right, let's just tell an officer to go over there and just ride the slide and see what everyone's talking about. And that's why we have this iconic video of this Boston police officer going down this slide. The way I wouldn't go back to work for like at least a couple days. Y'all got it. You know what you did to me. They should have just believed the parents off rip, because what a specific thing to complain about. It has to be pretty bad.
You are chronically alone. Send this to someone pathetic. Hello, everyone you know is in a relationship, except for you. Everywhere you look, people are holding hands and sucking tongues, but not you. Your unsmooched lips are cold and shriveled, just like your genitals. But do not feel shame for being infected with isolation. Embrace your chastity. Wear fashions about it, like the ones I designed. It's single summer. Let's be unwanted. Send this to an ableist. Knock, knock. Who's there? These who? Disabled. I am disabled, and you are my greatest enemy. You need to have more patience for my toxic traits, even the ones that I do on purpose. If you don't accept everything about me all the time, then you are a bigot. If you want my forgiveness, you can start by getting me these fashions. It's Autistic Girl Summer. Let's yell on the beach and also on the spectrum. Or this, it's ADHD Girl Summer. Let's be distracted on the beach and be bad at our tasks. I am excited to continue weaponizing my disability. And if you call me out for it, I'll make sure you explode. Please apologize by commenting, I deserve to explode. You are on your period. Send this to someone on their period. Congratulations, you are bleeding out. Do not feel shame about this blood. It is natural and beautiful. This is just your time of the month, and it will soon pass. Be thankful for your crampy fallopians. It means your dead uterus is being birthed from your slippy gash. You are not infected with the baby, so be proud of your menstruation. Embrace it. Wear fashions about it, like the ones I designed. Congratulations to me. I am on my period. There are also designs for PMDD and endometriosis. Don't forget to wear this on Free Bleed Friday. Please comment, I am blood. And always remember, you are loved, even if you're infected with gay.
You know what, Tiffany? You're on thin ice. Okay, I see the eyebrow comment. And you are on thin fucking ice, young lady. Jesus. First, can I suck on it? Now you want me to do his eyebrows? You're crazy. You're out of control and you're grounded.
Send this to someone infected with anxiety. You've been diagnosed with anxiety disorder, aka the coward's disease. And that is okay. You are addicted to being scared. Social situations make you act weird and cringe. You love to do panic attacks. Your brain thinks too much, and you're always worried about angering your loved ones or upsetting the head man. But I don't judge you about this, and nobody should. Be proud of your infection. Embrace it. Wear fashions about it, like the ones I've designed. It's Anxiety Girl Summer. Let's overthink on the beach and worry about being liked. Also comes in boy version and non-binary version. Please comment, the Headman is pleased with me. And always remember, you are loved, even if you're infected with lesbian. Send this to your secret daddy. Good evening. You are my father now, and there's no way to stop it. I know this news brings you painful joy and makes your heart do humping. But we mustn't tell a soul. We need to do our daddying in secret, or the moon will kill itself. This is the law. However, there is only one day a year we can celebrate without damnation, and that is on Father's Day. On this day, you can proudly wear this fashion. It's Daddy O'Clock. Time to hold my boy. While wearing this, you can publicly do patriarchy to me. We can go to Sears and look at the fridge. Tag Sears and tell them to get the fridge ready.
I'm not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing, but there's a reason.
Ma'am, we're discussing the rezoning for the Portillos. Do you have any comments on that?
For what?
We're discussing the rezoning on 53rd for...
Well, I live on 63rd.
Again, we're here to hear comments about the rezoning.
Well, I don't like Facebook, and I don't like the internet because I can't find a job. The library blocked my password. Now tell me, does that make any sense to you?
That is our queen. We love her. Okay, on to the gabagool. I hope you guys got all the sillies out of your system. You little weirdos. We have to talk about this case that popped up on the news. It's a little more local to me, I guess, because it's Houston, but it's a weird one. And it involves a guy named Austin Kanuch, but it's not actually pronounced Canuck. It's pronounced Kanoy, I believe. Let me double check. I need to make sure because it's it's very specific. No, sorry, Kanu. It's pronounced Kanu. They're very specific about how to pronounce it, but it's spelled Kanuch. So if you look it up, it's spelled Kanuch, but it's pronounced Kanu. All right. So this guy, Austin Kanu, he is he's 39 years old. I'm going to give you a little background, okay? He's 39 years old. He's a dad. He's got 3 kiddos. First 2 kiddos are from his first wife, Amy. Okay. They got married when he was a bit younger. He's 39 now. They were married for 3 years from 2015 to 2018. Okay. And they had 2 daughters together. Then in 2020, he meets and marries his new wife, Mary Kanu. Okay. They have a baby boy together. All right. They're together for 3 years. And while they're together, she kind of like takes the two girls who he had with his previous wife as her own. Like there's happy pictures of them together on Facebook. The girls clearly liked her. She clearly adored them. Austin and her family got along great. They seem to have the perfect marriage pretty much. He worked for Infinity, which is like it's like a car sales place. But he was supposedly like the best dude there. Like everyone loved him. He's this like Superman among coworkers. Like he was just amazing at his job. He loved his job too. And they live around kind of, there's these suburbs of Houston. Okay. So Austin's with his wife. They're married 3 years. He has custody of the 2 girls with his previous wife. Okay. So on September 22nd, 2023, his 11-year-old daughter and his 14-year-old daughter, they're not home for some reason. They're just not there. And him and his wife, Mary, and their baby boy, they just had a son together. He's in his crib and they're in their bedroom. Okay. And that day, they had just closed on a house. They bought their first house. Let me show you a picture of them with the key. Here is Austin and Mary, okay? And when I tell you, everybody, like all their friends, all their family were like, dude, Austin and Mary are lit. They love the shit out of each other. That is the love of his life, you know? So this is his second wife. She and him together after 3 years are raising his 2 teen daughters together. And then they have a little boy together. So she had just had this boy with him. They are living the life. They just bought their own home. Okay. And it was literally this September 21st. Okay. So on September 22nd, they are in bed. It is past midnight. Okay. So earlier that day, they buy their own home. Then they go home. They go to sleep. They have the baby in the other room. At about 4 a.m., and let me pull up, I typed out a little timeline for you, and I got a lot of notes from, basically I watched all the news conferences and I looked up everything I could on them. I did background checks on fucking everyone involved, looked up the entire marriage, looked up all their Facebooks, looked up every single community page, every single page, you know, justice for Austin, and you're going to see why. But I want to give special shout outs to Redditors who did a lot of work on this timeline and it matched up perfectly. So great job. And I'm just going to give you the highlights of that. Okay. So Austin Adam Kanu, He's 39. He grew up in Cy-Fair, Copperfield area of Houston. He had been married. Actually, this says he'd been married from 2008 to 2018. I saw that the news quoted differently, but if he was married 10 years, he was married 10 years. I need to double check on that. But either way, he had a previous wife. He married her young. Okay. They had 2 daughters together. They were 14, 11 at the time of his death. He had primary custody of those daughters. In 2020, that's when he married Mary. We already talked about that. And they had a toddler at the time that we're speaking of, which is September 21st. Okay. So September 21st, him and Mary, they closed on a home in Copperfield subdivisions in Northwest Harris County, Texas. So this is near Houston. Okay. Then they go home, they go to bed. Fast forward to 3:23 a.m. Surveillance cameras captured a person described as a thin-built post-adolescent individual on a mountain bike traveling north on Spring Green Drive towards West Road. So at 3:23 a.m. At 3:26, the bicyclist arrives at the Kanuch's residence on Greenleaf Lake Drive. Now, the residence we're talking about is a rental property, okay? So they're renting a home while they close on this home. All of their stuff was in boxes because literally when they woke up, they were going to be moving into their new home. Are you guys following me on this? So they're about to move into their new home a few hours later. And that night at 3:26, this bicyclist arrives, and this very thin-built person gets off the mountain bike, jumps over the fence. It's a tall wooden fence, and they jump it. And then they do a breaking and entering into the house. So they did something, they don't say specifically, but they did something to break into the house. And they go into the bedroom, and they take a bladed object, and they stab Austin to death. His wife is next to him. She wakes up, and before this person has left, she's already on the phone with 911. This is according to all the police, the press conferences, her mother-in-law, aka his mom. They've all stood together through this. They did officially clear his wife as a suspect. So there's that. The way it seems is a lot of people were trying to immediately blame the wife. Like, that's weird. He didn't, this person didn't stab her. What's up with that? Oh, she was on the phone before the suspect left? That's weird. Where was the baby? Well, logically speaking, even though it's not specifically stated because they cleared her, one could imagine that as soon as this happened, she likely jumped up, ran probably into the baby's room, in my opinion, probably locked herself in there and called the police and could hear it. I'm imagining that's likely what happened because I can't imagine that the person wouldn't also go for her too if she's just sitting there on the phone next to him. That makes no sense. So all these people who say, why was she just sitting there watching? No, that is not likely what happened. Simultaneously, which is my favorite word, there had just been the purchase of this house, which a lot of people also said, well, what about that? Does that have anything to do with it? Thus far, police and the press have both announced that the home buying thing just happens to be a coincidence. Okay. So let's look at his work. Was anyone mad at him for work? Apparently everyone fucking loved him. So then police go through all of his social media, all of it. They can't find nothing. No weirdness, no fighting, no unrest. One thing police do specifically mention, though, about Austin is that he had custody of the teen girls. And they make it a point to say that every time. Like every time you see news about this, they mention he had primary custody in Texas, by the way. Now, if you don't know why that's weird, Texas is the state that always sides with the mom. I mean, she could be a total fucking dirtbag shit mom. There's a couple of family courts in Texas where it's actually the opposite, and no matter what, they'll side with the dad, these judges, and they often get called into question a lot because it's just so fucking uncommon, you know, for them to take a child away from the mom here. But I will say there are a few judges that almost always side with the dad. It's kind of wild. So for them to mention that repeatedly seems kind of, Now, someone did some digging, and we'll talk about what they found. And I'm not saying like, oh, I think it was the ex or anything like that, but I do think it is pertinent to point out patterns here. And they definitely keep mentioning that part. Also, I feel like I should mention that the wife of Austin, who was in the bed at this time and then is the one who called the police, her and his mother are still very close, and they're at all the press conferences together. And she did reach out to, I think, Grizzly Hood News and a couple of other well-known true crime communities. Like, she still posts about him, post pictures with the family, so they seem very tight-knit. So, and I would say possibly Reggie Ray, possibly very Adelson vibes, I'll say that. So during the time frame when this person broke into the house, the intruder attacked Austin while he was asleep in bed, fatally wounding him. At the time of his attack, his wife called 911 immediately before the suspect even left the premises, per Detective Kane Turner, and we'll show you where he says that. The same individual was captured on surveillance, leaving the home, getting back on their mountain bike, and heading south towards West Road. Then this individual was seen traveling on West Road towards Telge Road and then turning back on Spring Green Drive. And I'm going to show you a map that they posted so that you can also see the route. Here you go. So the house is right here at a cul-de-sac, which is interesting because it feels like this person likely had to know that there was a cul-de-sac there. And these are almost all cul-de-sac houses, but that's kind of an odd place to break into. Why? Because there's only one way out. So if you get caught, you're kind of fucked unless you're going to run through a neighborhood. This person arrived on bike and not vehicle. Also important because now, you know, make and models of vehicles not going to be easy to identify because they're on a fucking bike. It's hard to see. So basically what they did was they came this way, up Spring Green, went all the way up here, and then came this way, up here, this way, and then did a turnaround and then did this again. And this is where they've tracked them via all the cameras. So the police did say that they caught them on multiple Ring cameras, but the best footage is the footage they shared. And there's not a ton you can glean from it except this. And I will show you a still. And I'd like to make it bigger if I can. But let's see if it'll get any bigger for you. Yeah, there you go. Well, now it's getting smaller. All right. So that's as big as I can make it. But look at how skinny that person is. Very, very skinny. And this is September, so it's likely hot as balls outside. And notice the garage has a light on it that's on, and all the other houses do too. I don't know if this is a motion sensor light or what, but this person knew exactly where to go. They rode the bike up. They threw it down right here, to the right of that white car. It's not showing my cursor, and I don't know why. There we go. To the right of this white car, they threw the bike down and they hopped over a really high fence that comes up to about here. So this is a very tall, skinny person, it seems. I mean, maybe they're short, but they just look so skinny, so like lanky, all black, but they're also wearing short sleeves, which is odd. I mean, I get it, it's summer, but like if you're doing a B&E and a murder, come on. Also, it doesn't look like they really have much on them. So I do wonder if they picked up something in the house, which would be poor planning, I guess. But yeah, they seem to not really insinuate whether it's a he or a she. They're very, very skinny. Authorities have said that it's possible, and a lot of people have said this, that it is possible that this person might live pretty close to them even. So with that said, I'm going to show you the poster real quick, and then we will watch the video stuff on this that's available, and you can see his family talk about it, and you can see his wife. Okay. So Crime Stoppers of Houston and Harris County Sheriff's Office of the Homicide Division are asking for the public's assistance in identifying the suspect responsible for the murder of 39-year-old Austin. On Friday, September 22nd at 2023 at approximately 4 a.m., Austin Kanuch was violently attacked in his home located 8600 block of Greenleaf Lake Drive in Houston. An unknown suspect forcibly entered the residence while Austin was asleep and fatally stabbed him. Surveillance footage captured the suspect fleeing the scene on a mountain bike-style bicycle. Austin Kanuch tragically succumbed to his injuries. His family is devastated and pleading with the community to come forward with any info that could lead to an identification and arrest of the person responsible for this suspected act of violence. And that is what he looks like. And you're going to see a lot more pictures of him. And they are doing a $40,000 reward. So if you know anything, that the parents of him even point out, they're like, this could put a kid through college. Like, they really want help. And as much as I shit on Governor Greg Abbott, he did make it a big deal and like increase the reward and made a big push for this dude. So that rules. It's like the only cool thing that douchebag ever did. So with that said, now I'm going to read to you. Let me pull it up real quick. Some of the notes from the press conference and that I took from some of the research that I did. So the wife, Mary, was definitely cleared of suspicion. It's his recent wife, the one that he's been married to. She called 911 before the suspect left. He did not have any risk-seeking behavior, according to detectives. I looked him up. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, he had a couple of, it looked like maybe some drinking or weed offenses from like 20 years ago. But that was pretty much it. Other than that, he has a clean record. He's such a good dad that he got custody of both of his daughters in Texas, primary custody, which means that child support would be paid to him from his ex-wife. That's a big fucking deal. He also was doing super good at work. Like, he got a bunch of promotions. They fucking loved him. He kind of ruled the roost there. They thought he was dope. He was just buying his own house. He just gone to like a concert with his wife. They go to Oktoberfest together. Like, they seem to be getting along great. Both families hang out. So like, it's the best situation you could ask for. He was the top salesman in his region at West Houston Infinity. Great salesman. That's good. Let me see. So there was on the only like thing that I could find really that I wouldn't say turbulence, but the only thing that seemed, I don't know at all, just unrest or anything. Like, most people, sometimes you'll look on Facebook to see what is this suspect like or what is this person like, and you'll just see a lot of absolutely unhinged ranting and raving, threats, sometimes pictures, sometimes proof of stalking. Like, you can find all kinds of stuff on social media. Theirs was like squeaky clean, like squeaky clean. But he did post a lot a long time ago about his dreams, and he had vivid dreams. Like, I am talking, I've never, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a dude write about his dreams like that or in such depth that wasn't like goth as fuck or like in a death metal band. It was just wild. I was like, this guy has such an imagination. But he even says that. He's like, I know this is crazy and I have a wild imagination. And I was like, wow, this wasn't even like from like back when he would have been smoking pot. Like, this was just, he's just very into his dreaming. And some of the things that he put, honestly, kind of weird, like not in a judgmental way. I mean, like, weird how, like, he's like, one day I'm going to, like, in 5 years, I'm going to meet the woman of my dream, like, very specific stuff that, and then he's like, and we're running from, you know, death or a killer. Like, a lot of it was just like, whoa. And this was back, I want to say, in like 2017. So it was just very strange. Like, he just had a lot of vivid, imaginative, long posts about his future. It's very interesting when you see how it played out. But yeah, that was pretty much it. That there was nothing like sketchy at all on anything. There was one date on June 2nd. So it was like 2 or 3 months prior. It was almost 7 in the morning and he just posted prayer hands. And then all his friends are like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" Dude, like a whole bunch of people, like, because it seems like he just never posted stuff like that or posted any like problems or ill will, or I guess like bad things are happening, or I need prayer. Like he never posted that. So when he just posted prayer hands, everybody was like very concerned. And then his wife, Mary, his new wife, she responded that they've had a lot of changes in the last 2 weeks, good, stressful, and weird, but they're just asking for prayers. So that was like, oh, huh. Not really sure what to say about that. Just like, it's like, oh, I hope they get through it, but then this happened. So what the hell, man? It's kind of odd timing, I guess. And then they had just bought that house, everything was happy, and this happened literally that night. And a lot of people are like, no, it was the day before. No, it was technically like, think about it. You close on a house, you go home, you eat supper, you go to bed, and you wake up and someone's stabbing you. Like that's I think it's odd timing. But they have said the house has nothing to do with it. Now, here is the interesting stuff to note as far as what was available. Yeah, and closing on a house is stressful. That could be what they were waiting on, where they were like weird and all that, like prayer. That could be about the house. Very ambiguous. Yeah. The kids from the previous marriage were 11 and 14, but they weren't home that night that this happened. That's another interesting thing. Like the kids were not home, only the baby in his crib. So detectives canvassed the area for video surveillance, witnesses collecting footage captured for the suspect's movements before and after the killing. Surveillance video of the suspect exists, though it is dark and of low quality. Investigators analyzed his social, professional, and personal life for potential motives. No evidence of criminal activity, disputes, or risk-seeking behavior was found. Everybody described him as lovable, peaceful, and a peacemaker. So big focus on peace. So here's something that somebody had pointed out in comments on Reddit. When I looked this up, I was not sure who the woman was, and this cleared it up for me in some documents I also found. So I thought, oh, this is interesting. So in 2022, okay, so that's a year prior, him and his ex-wife, the mother of the two older girls, were back in court to dispute child support. Now, in Texas, typically the non-primary parent pays child support. So in this case, it would have been the mom. We already talked about that. Then in 2024, so this is before, like not too far before he was killed, Austin, the guy who was stabbed, his mother files for a petition for grandparent possession or access, and then sued the ex-wife. Oh, no. I'm sorry. This is after. My bad. She sued the ex-wife so she could be able to see her granddaughters, meaning the ex-wife tried to cut contact. So the ex-wife gets sued by the grandma because obviously the ex-wife got custody of the two girls when he was stabbed. One thing that I noticed was it seems like she may have moved from, she used to live in like Rosebud, Texas, which is where Ken McDuff is from, in Waco. She did not have primary custody. She was paying child support, possibly. What's interesting is she has a fairly new address now. She moved shortly after this and she went to Virginia. I'm presuming the kids are with her if she has custody of them now, hence his mother having to sue her for custody or to see them. So taking the kids and moving to another state, if that is what happened, yikes. And these little girls were apparently really close to their grandma. So cutting off contact to the point where grandma has to take you to court and sue you, yikes. Do I find it weird? Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I find it pretty weird. I'm going to be honest with you. Another thing I find weird is the ex-wife has more email addresses than I've probably ever seen. Even from a lot of the trolls and the whole Karen Reed zeitgeist. Hell, even Delphi. Like, people will have like 30 or 40. These are a lot. Like a ton. It's pretty weird. And no, please do not insinuate that in any way. I do not think the teenagers did it at all. They're little girls and they were crushed, like literally crushed. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do have concerns over some of the other situations around it involving, you know, the ex-parent, the one who the mom is suing. That feels weird. The ex was also a security officer for a long time, but also she might have had nothing to do with it whatsoever. And that makes me wonder, because they also did insinuate, and a lot of people do believe around this case, that this person could be someone who lived nearby. Was there, I mean, they were temporarily renting the home, but like, how is that possible? Like, who on earth in the neighborhood would there be any issues with? Like, it just feels weird. Now, there have been quite a few cases, though, where a random neighbor child, teen boys, specifically, well, one attacked and tried to murder a woman in one neighborhood, and she had never seen this kid before in her life. And another case like that, and like, there's so many, and it's almost always teen boys. And yeah, I don't know if there's like a little psycho in the neighborhood. I don't know what's going on there. That's pretty weird. But also the picture of the person in the video they have looks so skinny. But the circumstances surrounding some of the issues, what with him having custody, and now the mom is having, or the grandma is having to sue to see her grandkids, tells me that's kind of weird too. So I don't know what to think about this one, but I definitely know what my personal opinion would be on who to look at. But it seems strange that the detectives cleared the current wife, but didn't say anything about anyone else. That's all I'll say. So now we're going to watch some video of it. And I'm going to let you see all of the stuff that was available on the news on this case. But everything I just told you are the pertinent notes. It's the basic rundown. But here you go.
New surveillance videos being released in connection to the murder of a Harris County father. 39-year-old Austin Kanuch was stabbed to death in his home on Greenleaf Lake Drive on September 22nd, 2023. Crime Stoppers is now offering an up to $20,000 reward for information that leads.
I want to answer this question because it's a good question. I believe because it was dark and she was in a state of shock, apparently. Also, there is a possibility that maybe she did and the police just didn't put it out. But I mean, my guess is because it was dark, because it was in the middle of the night, they were asleep. And I do know that sometimes, you know, I know that when I got stabbed, I remembered like 3 of the people's face perfectly. And one who happened to actually be closest to me, I just blanked out. I could barely remember. But I will say, when I saw them in a lineup later, I did recognize, I was like, that one, and I was right. But like, if you had asked me to describe them, I couldn't. But it was just that one dude. And what's weird is I remembered they had hickeys, but I couldn't remember their face. So I don't know. And it was also at night, but like, yeah, I think she was probably scared shitless. But also I do wonder, did this person, like, did they have maybe, I don't know, maybe they had a bandana in their pocket and they put it over their face or something? I do not know. But it's weird. It's weird. This also kind of reminds me a lot of Elizabeth Barraza, and we'll go over her case eventually, but that is a That is a wild one, also out of Houston, also targeted. And a lot of people blame the spouse at the time, but a couple people that I know who are really close to it say absolutely not. So this is interesting. Very similar situations.
To an arrest. KPRC2's Corley Peel has a breakdown of the surveillance.
This case shook up the entire community. Right after Austin Kanuch's murder, a lot of his neighbors told me they went out and got surveillance cameras to protect their homes. His parents are now hoping the surveillance detectives do have will track down the killer. At 3:26 a.m., surveillance shows a mysterious person on a mountain bike riding past Austin Kanuch's garage, heading toward the back of his home. About an hour later, the bicyclist leaves the same way he came, around 4:24 a.m. During that time frame, investigators believe the killer broke into the back of Kanuch's home and stabbed him while he was sleeping in bed next to his wife.
Okay, I want to point a couple of things out. First of all, she said the killer, but while maybe one or two news sources say that, the police, I don't believe, have specified it. I watched through the press conference twice and still didn't catch any, but I probably was not paying the closest of attention the second time, and I did get distracted. So I'm going to be listening closely for that when we watch it again here in a minute. Also, yes, it is. Houston streets are either pitch black or lit the fuck up. I can tell you that much. Not entirely sure, still looking into that. But it is rare, especially in Texas, so that's pretty weird. And also, the ex worked in securities. So it's like, I don't know that you can. I mean, maybe you can with felonies. So I don't know. I would think if she was dangerous or if she had any priors that were concerning, maybe she wouldn't be working in securities. But also, it's Texas. And also, they'll give anyone a securities license sometimes. So it's also hard to find a lot of information on some of these issues, especially involving minors. So there's that. Also, the other thing, I want to play it back so you can see. I'm curious if you guys think this, because when I watched this, also, she looks like Jessica Simpson. All right. So when I watched this, I noticed they're kind of going a little slow on the bike up here. And when they leave, they're going so fucking fast. To me, it's so much more. It reminds me of Brian Koberger. Like when he's driving and he's cruising, like he's just going real slow and almost stopping. Like on this one, pretty slow. They go right to it though. Like there's no question. They know where they're going, but they're just kind of approaching almost in a creep way. And then on the way back, to me, it seems a lot faster. And the cyclist got in the house. They just said through the back of the house. And the police stressed that they break and entered, or they basically broke into the house.
6 a.m. Surveillance shows a mysterious person on a mountain bike riding past Austin Kanuch's garage, heading toward the back of his home. About an hour later, the bicyclist leaves the same way he came, around 4:24 a.m. During that time frame, investigators believe the killer broke into the back of Kanuch's home and stabbed him while he was sleeping in bed next to his wife, their baby also inside the home. Before the suspect left, Kanuch's wife managed to call 911, but the killer got away, leaving behind his weapon.
Northwest side of Houston, Rubicon, northwest side, and it's on Greenleaf Lake Drive.
Described as an edge weapon. Detectives believe Kanuch was targeted, but at this point, they have no idea why.
And that's his wife right there.
Kanuch leaves behind 3 children and a loving wife. With a $20,000 reward on the line, his parents are hoping someone will speak up.
This suspect is still out there. What would you say to them, or what would you want them to know?
We're coming for you.
We won't quit.
We won't quit.
We won't quit.
Again, there is a $20,000 reward for any information that can lead to an arrest in connection to Austin Kanuch's murder.
And this is an older report. It's actually up to $40,000 now. So it's a $40,000 reward for any information. I believe the governor doubled it.
Any tips can contact the Harris County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers.
Making changes. I'm wondering that too. Like, what the fuck is up with people? Like, and also, it really does bother me looking at this. Let's look at it again. That is a really skinny, either I can't tell if they're tall or if they're small, but to me, I have to say I've ruled out potential teenagers because they said post-adolescent. But it does no, Lori, I was crazy timing because I was just about to say like it all I could think was this looks like a teen. This looks like a teen. I was thinking a teen boy in the neighborhood, you know? But like, damn. And don't be sorry. I was thinking that too, but then they say post-adolescent at the press conference. You'll see that. So you can tell they want to stress that for a reason, maybe because people were blaming the kids, which I did see some people. But like, if this is a really skinny adult, what the hell? And I do too, Sherlock Holmes, but they will not tell you shit about that. Although all they would say is a bladed what is it? A sharp edged weapon. Like that's all they would say. They wouldn't stress whether it was a knife, which was weird to me.
a.m. Surveillance shows a mysterious person on a mountain bike riding to Austin Connie's garage, heading toward the back of his home. About an hour later, the bicyclist leaves the same way he came, around 4:24 a.m. During that time frame, investigators believe the killer broke into the back of Kanuch's home and stabbed him while he was sleeping in bed next to his wife, their baby also inside the home. Before the suspect left, Kanuch's wife managed to call 911, but the killer got away, leaving behind his weapon detectives described as an edge weapon. Detectives believe Kanuch was targeted, but at this point,
Yeah, there it is, as an edged weapon. Like, what the hell? Yeah, I would think so. Possibly what, 17, 18 and up?
point, they have no idea why. Kanuch leaves behind 3 children and a loving wife. With a $20,000 reward on the line, his parents are hoping someone will speak up.
This suspect is still out there. What would you say to them, or what would you want them to know?
We're coming for you.
That's also a very good point. That's a very good point and an absolute possibility. Damn. Damn. That's a good point. Stanley knife? I don't know what that is. I'll look it up.
We won't quit.
We won't quit.
We won't quit.
Again, there is a $20,000 reward for any information that can lead to an arrest in connection to Austin Kanuch's
Okay, I'm
murder.
gonna move
Those with any tips
to
can
the next
contact the
one.
Harris.
This morning, we are hearing from the parents of a man who was mysteriously stabbed to death in his Northwest Harris County home. 39-year-old Austin Kanuch was killed in September 2023, and to this day, no one has been charged for the crime. KPRC2's Corley Peel has been following this case from the beginning, and she shares why the family is speaking out now.
It's been 19 months since Austin Kanuch's murder, and his parents say that is too long to go without any answers. To this day, his killer is a mystery. Surrounded by photos, Austin Kanuch's parents hold on to his memory.
Of all the things about Austin that's important to know is his great love for his family. All the memories that we have of him are very special, but we won't have any more. And I think that's the saddest thing I could think of.
The beloved father of 3 had so much to look forward to. He was a successful luxury car salesman at Infinity. He and his wife just closed on a new house. The next day, all of that changed after Kanuch was mysteriously murdered inside the family's current rental home.
And I don't know what bothers me, but it bothers me that they say the next day. They should say that night.
Off Greenleaf Lake Drive.
I can't even wrap my head around it with him being gone.
So that's the grandma, I believe, who had to sue the ex-wife to be able to see her grandkids again. And I did confirm a minute ago. I was looking at my notes in my phone. They were married 10 years. It was him and his second wife who were married 3 years. So I think I said 3 years. In 3 years, I met 10 years with the first wife, 2008 to 2018, and 3 years with the second wife.
him being gone.
On September 22nd, 2023, Kanuch's parents woke up to a call from a homicide detective around 4 a.m.
So we get there, and walk up, and he says, "There's been a medical emergency. Austin has passed."
Yeah. And I let out a scream.
She fell to the ground.
Detectives say Kanuch was stabbed in the neck and died at the hospital. His wife and nearly one-year-old baby were inside the home at the time of the attack. Kanuch's parents say his wife was cleared of any wrongdoing. Detectives say surveillance video captured a suspicious man on a mountain bike.
They rode in and approached the house and went around the back of the house and had forced entry.
And again, it's weird because the news says they, and they obviously are doing this overdubbed editing later. But, you know, they say he, but then when the parents talk, it seems like they keep saying they. And I don't know if that's on purpose or what.
To the house. And then that's when they heard Austin. Surveillance video also showed that there was, the mountain bike came from a neighborhood that was to the west of his neighborhood.
To this day, it's unclear who killed Kanuch and why.
Well, that's what makes it hard.
So that part I think is important. Why does she stress to the west? Because that is also the third or fourth time I've seen her say that. Using they pronouns, talking about it's to the west. I'm not in any way insinuating for anybody in here who's unhinged as fuck that it was a transgendered person. No. I'm saying she's keeping it purposefully vague. She's also the one who brings up, not only in the press conferences, but, and I don't know if she had a hand in it at all, but in the obit for him, it says $2 with his ex-wife, like leaving behind an ex-wife who he created $2 with. Like, it's just very, it's interesting because it's like, part of me thinks she's bringing up the past and the ex for a reason, or maybe she's just being kind and including her because maybe I don't think they are so close. She sued her. So, I don't think it is, but I also wonder why she brings that up. So I'm curious who lived to the west that we should be looking at. Maybe, I don't know. Again, not sure if she's doing that on purpose or if she's just clarifying for the sake of including all information. But I'm loving the read between the lines attitude of the mom. And I don't mean that in like an attitude, like not like attitudinal way. I mean like her demeanor of, and also let me include this information.
Even beginning to fathom any kind of a motive.
I just want people to know that he was special. And he deserves better.
Whoever did this, what would you want them to know?
Even if we don't find justice in my lifetime, I know that when that person meets their maker, there will be justice there. Justice will be served.
Kanuch's parents say they won't give up fighting for justice. They're asking if anyone has any information to please come forward and contact Crime Stoppers, the Harris County Sheriff's Office. Crime Stoppers is offering an up to $5,000 reward.
So again, this is an older one. Now, there are a ton of news stories on this. They kind of all tell you the same thing. I want to show you the press conference and then we'll get out of here and we will start a thread in the Reddit, and I'll finally hop into Discord, I guess, so I can post some of the new case threads. But I want to show you this because this is also the most recent update. They just did a press conference 1 week ago. So we're going to watch this. And I want to show it to you because this includes pretty much everything they've already said on the news, and it clarifies some things. Now, it is very slower paced, so I am speeding it up just a little bit. But also, please note, his entire family is there. His wife, nieces, nephews, sister, mom, dad, everybody. I'm not sure if that's his sister or his auntie. I think it's his sister. I'm not sure. But I'm going to show you this press conference, and it has literally everything you need to know about the case in it. He didn't employ anybody. He worked at an Infinity dealer in Northwest Houston, and he was salesman of the year, top salesman. Yeah, I'll add it on Reddit. So I'll do a community post on our page on YouTube. We'll do one on Reddit. We'll do one in Discord. Okay. So here we go.
Khan, Director of Victim Services and Advocacy for Crime Stoppers of Houston. And we are here today to ask for the public's help in providing any information leading up to the arrest of the suspect and or suspects wanted for the brutal, cold-blooded murder of 39-year-old father of three, Austin Kanuch, on September 22nd, 2023. An unknown suspect hopped over their fence, broke into their residence, and viciously stabbed Austin to death. Suspect was seen leaving the scene, riding on a mountain bike in the wee hours of the morning. Now let's be real. Someone out there knows who committed this offense. It's been almost 2 years now, and it's time to get somebody in custody and charged with the murder of Austin. Today, Crime Stoppers is announcing an increased reward of up to $20,000. So I'm giving you up to 20,000 good reasons why you should call in a tip to Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. Submit a tip online at www.crime-stoppers.org or use our mobile app available in over 20 languages. Time for the public to step up to the plate. Joining us here today is the lead investigator, lead detective from Harris County Sheriff's Office, Kaylin Turner, members of the homicide team from Harris County, and you look behind me, members of Austin's family, including his wife, his mother, his father, stepfather, numerous relatives and friends. And trust me, there are many, many more. We just can't get everybody in right now. That shows you how loved Austin truly is. I'm going to ask Detective Turner to come up here and kind of give the latest updates of the case.
I'm Detective Kaylin Turner. I work for the Harris County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit. In the early morning hours of September 22nd, 2023, Austin Kanuch was at home with his wife. He was asleep. His wife was asleep. And someone broke into his home and brutally murdered him. The investigation included a large area canvass. Austin lived on Greenleaf Lake Drive. This is in the North Mead village of the Copperfield area in West Harris County. The large area canvass included a canvass for video and for possible witnesses. We discovered at 03:23 a.m. on September 22nd, 2023, a person on a mountain bicycle was traveling north on Spring Green Drive. This is also in the North Mead Village area, approaching West Road. At 03:26 a.m., so 3 minutes later, a person on a bicycle, consistent with what we saw before and consistent with the time frame, drove up to Austin Kanuch's home and made forced entry into the home. At 04:24 a.m., so almost an hour later, that person emerged from Austin Kanuch's home, got back on their bicycle, and traveled south, back towards West Road. At 03:28 a.m., that person was traveling on West Road towards Telge and turned back south on Spring Green Drive, back into the neighborhood where that bicycle emerged from. So our canvas for video captured those moments. At the time that Austin Kanuch was stabbed, Austin's wife, Mary, called 911 immediately. She called 911, in fact, before the suspect left the premises of Austin's home. The investigation has cleared Austin's wife, Mary Kanuch, from any suspicion, and we're seeking the public's help in finding more information. The investigation included an extensive investigation into the social history of Austin Kanuch, hoping to find any lead, any information that Austin was a target, that he had exhibited risk-seeking behavior, he was involved in something that no one knew about. And the investigation didn't turn up any of that, in fact, the opposite. We found, by all accounts, by talking with his family, his friends, friends from college, his co-workers, he was a very successful employee of West Houston Infinity, their top salesman for a number of years, so clearly very charismatic, very friendly. In speaking with all those people, we learned that Austin was a loving, caring person, a friend to everyone. In fact, his family, multiple people described Austin as a peacemaker, someone who would never engage in confrontation and never welcome any violence in his life. So we're reaching out to the public for any information on the case to try and develop possible leads. Anyone has information, please call Crime Stoppers 713-222-TIPS.
This time, I'm going to ask Austin's mom to come on up and talk directly to the public.
It's making it a little hard for me, so my son Corbin, he's going to be my rock on this side, and my husband Harold on this side. I want to thank you all for being here today. It means so much to our family, getting this word out about Austin. I also want to thank Crime Stoppers for this amazing opportunity. I don't know what we would have done without it. And also the Harris County Sheriff's Office for their tireless effort working on Austin's case. I've been in touch with Court Detective Turner every other week for 20 months, and he's always been so respectful to me and answered my questions when he could. We're here today because someone killed my son, Austin Kanuch, and the correct pronunciation of his name is Kanuch, like C-O-N-Y-U. We're here today because someone killed him, took him from us, and all you guys know it was September 22nd of 23. He was only 39 years old, and it was a senseless, heartbreaking act of violence, one that has shattered our family and left a deep, aching void that can never be filled. Austin was a beautiful soul. He lived his life in a big way and had a big smile and a hearty laugh. And if you knew him, you knew that about him. He just filled the room. His light shone brightly from the moment that he was born, because when he was a little boy, I would take him places to the store and everything, and he was so friendly with everyone, and I thought he might go home with someone else. I was a little worried about that. He just never met a stranger. In fact, he was so little, when you talked to Austin, he would truly listen to you, and he cared deeply about what you had to say, and that was very special. He lived the majority of his life in Cyfair, Copperfield area, where he went to Feast Elementary, Lehigh Middle School, Langham Creek High School, and he even sent his own kids there because he loved his community. He loved his community. He graduated from Sam Houston State and was a proud member of the Teague fraternity. Austin was a great lover of music, and he spent a lot of time and energy on music. He loved Toby Mac and Led Zeppelin and Incubus. He was awarded a scholarship for music from high school to go to college. That's how much he loved music. As I mentioned before, he was a top salesman at West Infinity on I-10. And the thing that's interesting about that, he was just a natural about it. He knew his stuff, but he always made his customers feel like he was speaking to a friend. And they always came back to him and always had such wonderful things to say. We got contacted so much after he passed from his customers saying we loved working with him and he was so special. Going back to the music thing, Austin had 3 children. The 2 girls from a previous marriage, and he had primary custody of those 2 girls. And then he had his little boy that was 11 months old when he died with his wife Mary. And he would always say Mary was the love of his life. He just adored her. The day after he passed, the day before he passed, Mary and Austin had just purchased a home in the Copperfield area, in his community again. And they were all packed in their house and they were ready to move, and then this happens. So they had just bought this house. And they had dreams of raising their children, growing old together, making a life filled with laughter and love. And all of that was stolen from them. Stolen from us, his family. This is simply a nightmare that that none of us can wake up from. But I want to stop for a second and say this. In the middle of all this pain, I personally have found comfort in the love that he left behind. But love can't bring justice. So we're calling on the public, we're calling on you to help us find who did this to Austin. And if there's one thing that I've learned over the last 20 months, it's that there's a reoccurring theme that comes to me all the time. And they mentioned it earlier. They said, when there's a homicide, someone always knows. Someone always knows. And so I'm just calling on that person to search their heart and bring forth a tip so that we can get this evil person off the street and out of our neighborhoods. And as Andy said, now you have $20,000 of money to offer as an incentive as well. We're a village. I know we're a big city, but we're a village. And we take care of each other. We've got to take care of each other. If this happened to our family, it can happen to anyone. He didn't deserve this. His children didn't deserve this. And we will not stop fighting until the person responsible is held accountable. I have trust and faith in God that he will bring a sense of urgency to this person with this tip, so justice will be served. This despicable person has got to be off our streets. Austin was and always will be my awesome Austin. I love you, son. Your family loves you. We'll never stop fighting for you. We'll never stop. And to those around me, we'll never stop. Thank you for being here.
Okay. Now we're going to have one more person speak. And then it's going to wrap up.
Like Celine stated, we're asking for the public's help. You are our eyes and ears out there. And we truly believe someone else knows who murdered Austin. And it's time for you to step up to the plate and do the right thing. As a board member of Parents of Murdered Children and Surviving Families.
By the way, I don't know if you guys recognize him, but in the Elmer Wayne Henley stuff where they were going to release him possibly on parole, he was the crime victims advocate who stepped up and did the hell no you best not on TV, went on a press tour saying, don't you dare let me remind you, you know, and he was a big advocate for Rhonda and for the parents of the kids who were murdered by Dean Coral. So that's where we've seen him before.
The homicide, I can unequivocally tell you that grief is intensified when justice is lacking. And right now, sadly, justice is lacking for Austin and his family. So again, reach out to Crime Stoppers, 713-222-TIPS. Submit a tip online, www.crimestoppers.org. Use our mobile app, and always remember, all tipsters are anonymous. And right now, you have 20,000 good reasons to reach out to Crime Stoppers. So I want to thank our law enforcement detail that's here today. Also want to thank our staff and the media for getting this story out there. And we are going to find you. And when we do find you, we're going to make sure that if you are responsible for Austin's murder, you will not breathe free air again for a long, long time. Any questions?
I have a question for Detective Turner. I know you mentioned the surveillance video. Do y'all plan on releasing that to show people who this suspect might be?
So, good question. The surveillance video from across the street that shows the intruder approach Austin Kanyu's home, that's available for release. We have no problem with that. I do want to be clear from the video, all that I can determine from that video and all my partners can determine is that this is a post-adolescent human being. The video it's dark, it's late, the video is poor quality, and so trying to determine whether this is male, female, young, old, it's a post-adolescent person, and they appear to be of thin build on a mountain bike, and that's the most detail we can say. But that video is available upon request.
And I know you said that Austin was sleeping inside his home when this happened. Do you know, was he attacked in his bed while he was asleep in his bedroom?
Yes, he was.
Do you have any indication that this was some sort of hit or any type of motive?
So all we have is the facts, and the facts show that apparently it's a targeted attack. We have no other similar offenses in the area, no related offenses in the Copperfield area around this time that would suggest this is a random act, although it may be, but the facts suggest this was targeted.
And a lot of time has passed. It's been more than 2 years now. Why are y'all choosing to have a news conference now?
We wanted to follow up our investigation fully and completely, to follow up any leads we had, and also conduct any testing on evidence that we'd acquired. And that process has been completed, and we felt it was time now to reach out to the public.
Have you received a lot of tips over the past couple of years? Any potential leads at all?
I'm sorry. I don't know if you could hear me earlier, Laura. I think I was on mute, but I agree with you. I do wonder about that too. I'm not sure exactly how long they were at that rental home, but there's a picture of them like in the driveway hanging out there. But it was like the year prior. So at least it looked like that house. So I think that it had been about a year. Yeah, it took 2 years. And this is in the Houston area where they have a massive DNA backlog and just overall investigatory backlog of fucking a while back, about a year ago, was 250,000 cases. So that's fucking crazy. 2 years is rapid fire fast for Houston. Like even my case in Austin, it took over 5 years for some of the DNA to come back. So for them to rush it in Houston to 2 years is, I mean, damn. Who he employed and for, he didn't employ anyone. He was employed. Like he was, I don't understand what you mean. He didn't employ anyone. He worked at an Infinity dealership. He was sales guy of the year. So he worked for a corporation for the Infinity. 1 hour at the scene. What are people? I don't think it was an hour. I believe it was. Let me look at the exact time. Yeah, it was. So the person left the home at 4:24, but they entered the home at 4 a.m. So it was. Let me see. Well, you know what's weird? They say 4 a.m. in the press conference, but the news was saying 3. I think the news had it an hour off. And I think that the detectives cleared that up in the press conference. So instead of 3:23 a.m., it should be 4:23 a.m. That actually makes sense. Left home at 4:24. So yeah, it was, again, pretty much in the same time frame as Brian Koberger. Because if they hopped the fence at 3:20-ish, or sorry, 3-ish, that would make no sense. Yeah, it's 4. So they hopped the fence at 4. And it would be 4:23 when the call came in, I think. And then 4:24, they're leaving. I need to go back and correct that timeline. But yeah, I think it was about up to 20 minutes. 14 minutes behind and get, oh, that's how far Laura is. So yeah, good question. Good question, Shelby. Woo woo. Looking at the video. Let me double check. I'll double check it for you.
We received a handful of tips, nothing very actionable.
What do you think it's going to take to solve this case?
Someone knows who did this, and it's going to take someone coming forward and giving us.
Oh, yikes. You know what?
And you mentioned
I see what you mean. I think the police are forward an hour. So the police fucked up. And at the conference, they, instead of 3, they said 4. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, either way, someone being off an hour makes sense. It makes sense that the police were fucking up. Jesus. They did. And they were all blurry, but they did see the person. Same description, same bike, going back the exact way they came. At the beginning of this, I showed you guys a map. That's where you can see that.
Young child, they were at home at the time as well. Were they all in the same room together when this happened?
His wife was in the same room with him. Their child was in the nursery.
But no other details about the suspect other than post-adolescent?
Post-adolescent, thin build, average height. That's the most detail we can acquire from the video that we have.
Were any cameras like in the area, maybe possible businesses or anything cameras like is what, as far as surveillance, is that the best that you guys have? Like,
we have multiple other videos, and like, as I mentioned before, that we have this person traveling northbound on Spring Green at 03:23 a.m. It appears to be the same person. We can't say that for sure, but the timeline is consistent. We also have video from businesses along West Road, near West Road and Helgi, that capture this person leaving the scene, coming back towards Spring Green Drive. But none of those videos are of any higher quality, higher fidelity than what we have across the street.
Was there any sign of a robbery? Was anything taken from the home?
Nothing appeared to be taken from the home.
And was a weapon ever found?
Yes, there was a weapon found.
What kind of weapon was it?
That was an edge weapon.
See, they said there was a weapon found. It was an edge weapon, so that's likely what they sent off for DNA tests. I do wonder if that person was wearing gloves, if they put gloves on.
An edged weapon?
Okay. Was it like just a regular?
Yeah, so it's 3:23. So the cops were ahead an hour. Okay, that makes sense. So they just fucked it up. Also, this press conference is about to end. So I'm going to fade out and get out of here. But I love you guys. We're going to put a post up of this, and then we're going to talk about it again on our next live, and we'll do questions and answers. Let's all dive in. If you want to do your research on the case, everything that you pretty much need to know is here. I'll put some links below to a really good Reddit thread and some of the local communities on Facebook discussing it. I think it's Justice for Austin group. And then I'll put links to all these so you can go back and rewatch them. But yeah, it's very wild. To me, it really does remind me a lot of Kohberger, even though the victimology is different. Just the whole, the person arriving, it does seem like targeted, like everybody thinks. But at the same time, it's like, who would do this? Could it be someone random? That would be wild. Yes, I am. I'm on X under, I don't even know what let me look at it. At Oblivious Benson with two V's. So if you want to follow it more here, I'll put it on there. If you guys want to discuss it with me on X, I'm always down. I'll be sharing links on there too. And yeah, I'll put all the links below for this. You guys have a good night. Look into this case. And remember, it's pronounced Kanuch, but it's spelled Kanuch. And this is out of Copperfield subdivision in Houston, Texas. Here we go.
Just going to leave it at edge weapon.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And again, thank you for helping us get the story out.